Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday night's Messages of Love from Above. As always, super excited. See what messages are coming through from Spirit for us this evening or in the morning, wherever you're at in the world. Before we get started, though, I do love to send all this beautiful unconditional love energy out to the world. If you'd like to join me in doing so, I very much welcome that. Whether you are watching this live or even on replay, we can join together outside of space and outside of time where all this love exists and flood it into the world. So I'm going to take a big deep breath and just come back to right here, right now. And just allow the love to flow down into our heart and fill us up and overflow out to the world. And if you yourself are in need of love in this moment for your heart, your mind, your body, for a loved one, a situation, a relationship, whatever it may be, we send the love to you right now as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that and allowing me the space for that. Before we get into the readings, I do always try to let everyone know that I do have a weekly drawing for a giveaway of a personal recorded reading. Here is the link for that. We've got 2 days left since they're on Mondays. You have the rest of today and tomorrow to look into the drawing there and get into that. I also mention some details in this video of the um, monthly reading, monthly giveaway that I'm going to be doing. Wow. I can talk, I think. Also, just a couple more days left on a sale that Spring is having. It's a formerly known as Teespring. It's where I have my merchandise through, and they hardly ever offer 25% off of their profits. So I always like to make sure everyone knows of those sales. No pressure, just information in case you are interested. And also, I put out a weekly pick a card reading, and this week's was life purpose. What do you need to know right now? I have a ton of other pick a cards, put out at least one a week. So you can always check those out on my main page. And here we are, the middle of April. I cannot believe we're already here. I thought I just said we're at the end of March. Here we're at the middle of April. But I do have monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign. So you can check those out as well in that playlist. So all of those are free. I'd love to give away things and offer those. So you have that. I think that's everything I wanted there. So I will get my desktop all set up here. And if you are new to my channel, I'll try to do two things at once. We'll see how successful I am. But if you are new to my channel, how the free readings work is I do go down in order in the chat, first come, first serve. And if you, all you do is put your question out there, and then we pull cards for it. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just put like you want a general reading, and Spirit knows what you want, and we'll pull cards for that. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, and I step out of the free readings. I prioritize those and also go deeper into them. And then once I'm done, I return back to the free readings and move down the list. There's no specific amount for donation required because I know everyone's income varies day by day and person to person. So a donation is a donation, and you can use the super chat. Down below, it's a little dollar, like a little dollar bill. Or you can also use Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. I have those linked in the description box. I'm sorry, linked in the pinned comment at the very top of the chat, and then also the description box of the video down below. So that's how it works. I do have a donation to start off, so I will start with that, and then we will jump into the free readings. All right, Latoya, thank you so much for your donation. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And let me just move this where I can see it a little better there. All right. So, and I am going to be using the Star Tarot this evening. It's one of my favorite decks. So we will take a look here. You want to know, why does your ex, the Cancer, keep playing games on your phone? The fun, fun games. All right, let's take a look here and see what's going on. So, Latoya, let's take a look here. Hope everyone's having an amazing weekend. I feel just a bubble of love, but I always feel it in here, especially with all of you guys, all that love energy you have. Nope, I didn't want any of those. What is going on here? So what? Playing games. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Well, yeah. So we've got the Hermit card here. And what I heard when when I first saw this card, your spirit guides were like, they have way too much time on their hands. Idle hands are the devil's play or whatever, right? But the nine of the Hermit is all about the inner journey, and they're feeling separated, they're feeling alone. And really, it does have a little bit to do with that. They do have a lot of extra um alone time, and they're thinking a lot. And you know what happens when that goes down, right? They just, when you feel like you're in darkness, which this kind of feels like, then they are, the lies that their fears tell them, uh, they feel are so much true, because when they're whispering in the dark, everything seems so much bigger and so much worse. And so they just, the little, they go into fear mode, right? And then what happens when a human goes into fear mode? Well, we're not acting from our adult, human, intelligent, compassionate, loving side for sure. That one's kicked out of the control room, and a little cat or a 2-year-old's in charge. So it's like a little 2-year-old getting a hold of a phone, and I'm gonna me, and and all these games. And one moment they feel, oh, I love you and I want to be back to you, and they're blah, blah, blah. They're just all over the place, right? Well, part of all this is their inner journey, because we've got the Hermit nine, and then we've got the Nine of Wands, which is again Hermit number, but about their inner energy. Here's the King of Wands trying to step into their power. And when we're in fear mode, though, when we're trying to understand our true power, it becomes a power trip. It becomes um, a need to feel in control, and we can feel in control when we're in our little fear mode by bullying or manipulating through sadness. Manipulation tactics usually are, we start off poor me, right? Like, oh, I can't believe you're not with me anymore, and blah, 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 blah. And then we go into, if that doesn't work, rage and bullying. I can't believe you, and rah, 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 trying to make you react somehow. All those are manipulation to try to draw you in, to try to make me happy because you're making me sad, or I'm angry and you better do what I do. I'm going to get angrier. And then if that doesn't work, rejection and silence. And then if that didn't work, they'll start over again. I can't believe when I stopped texting you, you didn't try to come after me. And it just keeps looping, right? So there you go. So this power is coming in and they're trying to get reaction and response. And if they can get it from you, then they will continue. And usually the best thing that we can do if we do not truly want anything with them anymore is to stop responding if you haven't already. It's just uh, we feed it, it just keeps growing. It's like a cat, a stray cat at your door. You fed it once, it keeps coming back. If you keep feeding it, it will bring even more. But when we stop feeding it, eventually, even though it'll and scratch the door and scratch the door, eventually it will go away if you stop responding to it. And again, here's more of you know, the emperor. Here's that, power kind of stuff. I mean, you've got the king of wands, so the king and the emperor, fiery energy. And if they're a fire sign, then definitely, they can heat up and cool off and heat up and cool off very much because this is like Aries energy, and the king of wands, of course, is also fire energy. But this is them trying to feel in control, trying to feel, just really trying to find stability in their life, because then you have two fours here, which the four of pentacles is trying to find stability in their outside world, and that's what the emperor's trying to do too. So it just, that's what's going on with them. And especially being a cancer, their emotions are already exploding and huge, and they're very sensitive emotionally. They're ruled by the moon, and then the moon sign, whatever the moon, the moon goes through a different sign every 2 to 3 days, and they're very sensitive. And if they're not in tune with their higher self, then they are almost a puppet to the constant changing energies that it goes through all the signs, like in a month, right? Because it goes through, if when it's in a fire sign, they're all fiery and maybe playful and irritable and rah rah rah. And then they go through a grounding period when they go through an earth signs, and then the water signs, very very emotional. And then so if it feels like they have like multiple you know multiple personality, and that they're just so inconsistent, it's because they're being a puppet of the moon energy that's constantly changing every few days. So hopefully that brings a little bit of awareness into them, Latoya, and why they're doing the things they're doing, and how it seems so childish and so catty. I mean, literally, I usually call it a cat mind, hissing and attacking and hissing and running away and attacking and running away. And it's because they're in this fear tumbling, type of thing that's going on. So that is what they have for you, Latoya. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. I know those are always fun, especially when you care about them, and you haven't quite maybe released them in your heart yet, right? Then it's like you don't want to totally reject them, but you don't want them around. Can't live with them, can't live without them, type of feeling. But it'll get to a point where you either will go, you know what? I want to try to make it work with them, and you're going to go all in back in for a fun ride. And fun is in quotation marks. Um, or you're just like, okay, I'm cutting the strings. I'm gonna do a ritual of candles of, there's a ritual if you ever do want to kind of cut ties. You kind of like get two candles and you put like a string in between. You can even put your initials, on each of your initials on the candle, and you light them, and then you intentionally burn the thread in the thread, or cut the thread. Be safe, don't burn your house down. But it just separates it, and then you can either blow out the candle or let the candles just burn all the way down, and then when they go out, then you just feel the release. And with that, if that's what you're wanting to do. um, but that is what they have. Again, thank you for your donation, Latoya. Many blessings to you. All right. Hey, Nuza Miranda. Thank you for your donation. You had a weird dream. What should you know about it? Uh-oh. I know lately too. I mean, I dream a lot. Uh, stellium in Pisces. I've got like 4 or 5 planets in Pisces, and that's not even my sun. It's like my moon and all my inner planets and all sorts of fun stuff. So I already have weird, bizarre dreams, but lately, oh my gosh, just so I don't know what's going on in the planetary world or whatever, but I can imagine some weird, bizarre dreams. Right, newses. Let's take a look here. Okay. So you do have the hanged man here, which is about seeing things from a different perspective, and the 3 of Pentacles too, which is like this energy of being true to your authentic self. And so the dream here, right? I feel like that's when our subconscious and our spirit team, because our little guard, our brain is asleep. It's like the guard of the prison cell is asleep, and that's when they can sneak in and visit us. And so they come in and without the brain supervision, and they bring things to us. And I feel like with the 3 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man, I mean, it's definitely spirit bringing things to the forefront for you to be able to see some things about yourself, though. The 3 of Pentacles is about you and you being true to the true, authentic you. And I feel like, because these are the same turtle 3 times. What our spirit will do is the people that are in the dream are not the other real people. They're just us in, like, masks, and it's the interaction I feel with the energy here is that it's showing you different aspects and different viewpoints of yourself to work through those, to see the falsity around some of these beliefs and some of these things. Were they kinda conflicting, like accusatory, or, um like the interactions didn't feel right? It's like, that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be. Why are they treating that person that way? It's like all of these are you interacting with you and yourself and these ideas of who you're supposed to be and should be. But there's this, it's the way spirit is bringing it in, and they'll even bring it, like, they'll bring stuff into your dreams, but they also bring things in the outside world for you to see people interacting a certain way to bring up triggers. And then when are asleep, then we also, they'll bring up even more stuff there because they have our full attention for 6, 7, 8 hours, or how when we go into the REM mode, right? So that makes sense then, with their that they're showing you different aspects of yourself to free yourself of those limitations and to truly go, you know what? I don't have to do this. I don't have to be this. What am I afraid of? And they'll bring up all the situations for us to release those. And it's like the peeling away of the onion. They're peeling away things that are not us to get to the true us, so that we can reflect our and enjoy that. But that's where the seeing things from the higher perspective is seeing you. And it's almost like the cocoon to the butterfly. While we're in the cocoon, the caterpillar, uh, you know, sheds away its skin. It becomes caterpillar stew while it transforms, and it lets go of pieces that are not it. It was just what it needed to get to this point to create the cocoon to transform and emerge for what it truly was the whole time, which was a butterfly inside of a caterpillar, ready to, literally spread its wings, right? So I like that for you, Nusa. So hopefully that makes sense there. And yeah, I love it. I love dreams because they're just so bizarre, but they bring us so much information, and then we process things in our dreams too, to let it go. Yeah, 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 there you go, so perfect, yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what? Um, yeah, um Yeah, and the heavy energy is fear, and so, sometimes, that the heavy energy is ours, right? We pick up on things from other people and their energy is going on, and it's good to differentiate between what's their energy and what's our energy, but then we can pay attention and go, "Okay, this is my fear of my colleague. Why do I fear them? Why do I fear what they would think? Why do I fear this? Why do I fear that?" Because that energy, if it's not of unconditional love, then there's fear involved in it. And so it's like, why do I feel unsafe around them? What am I scared of? So some great transformation. I love that. You're in such an amazing transformative time of your life. I really like it. Yeah. Well, now you're gonna find it being different here. The more you dream about it and realize it and look at it, you're gonna be like, look into their eyes and scare the crap out of them. "Oh my gosh, I can't look in your eyes." But I like it. You're facing the fears, and that's good. It's bringing that up, and that's good to look at too, is just, "What am I fearing? What am I fearing from them? What's the worst, right? What's the worst they can do to me?" You know? Nothing that I won't let them do, right? So, again, thank you so much for your donation. Enjoy your lovely dreams and your beautiful transformation, Butterfly, Nueza Nuza. All right. I think that's it for the donations. Yes. All right. So, we will start with the free readings, and at the very top, we've got Dijona Sturgis, and whatever comes out. So, let's see here. What does Spirit want you to know right now? Wow, 2 major arcana. So you've got the beautiful Chariot card, which is stepping into your power of choice, and the Empress, which brings new birth, newness, harvest, abundance, passion into your life. Because the Chariot card tells us that one, there's going to be movement in your life, it's victorious, and it reinforces the power that you hold within you no matter what's happening in our world. Everything in the world just happens. It just is. But we're the ones that have the choice each moment of what story we put to it, what emotion we feel as we go through it, and the energy that we're investing in it. And I like it because, yeah, we're taught and we have these habits from when we were very young that all these opinions on how we're supposed to think about something, how we should feel about things, where we must invest our energy, and it's all a bunch of malarkey, right? We what is it? I declare shenanigans. This is all made up. This is all opinion. But we were young. We took it on as our own opinion. We made it our habit to think a certain way, feel a certain way, and invest our energy a certain way, usually into our fears of what we fear will leave our life, or fear come in. And the beauty of the becoming aware of the power of choice is that I get to choose. And every moment's either a choice of fear or of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter and gratitude. So whatever we focus on is what grows. So my energy, I can invest in gratitude or I can invest in fear. And neither is right and neither is wrong. There's no judgment and there's no should from spirit standpoint. It's like, it's just a choice. But it brings different results and different experiences. Fear, of course, brings constriction and smallness and limitedness, pain, suffering, all of these emotions related to fear. Where when we pick unconditional love, it's expansive, it's empowering, it's limitlessness, and all the emotions connected to unconditional love. Like I said, joy, celebration, peace, laughter, gratefulness, gratitude. And so there's this power that is coming here that you can step into, and it does change your viewpoint of the entire world when you realize I get to decide. I don't have to be at the whim of someone's opinion from the past. So I like it for you, Dejona. It's one of the beautiful, beautiful powers that we have. It's like one of the most. It's what impacts us. So I like it. So many, many blessings to you. And Bree, you are up next. Hello. So you want to know, will you get the mortgage for the house that your offer is accepted for? It's due Wednesday. Dun dun dun. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about this mortgage? That would be a yes with the Wheel of Fortune. Things are spinning for you. You have the Five of Wands, which something that starts off feeling kind of uh, combative, or yeah, combative is a good word because usually it's like a kung fu movie that's playing that, conflict and combat, but it turns and transforms into something more giving, and that it's for us. Which an example of that would be like, oh, there's a delay, but there's a delay because they're trying to find the best rate for you. And it's like when you find out, why are you delaying all this? And then you find out, well, because the rate that we knew that there was going to be a drop in rates or whatever. And so we knew we could get you into this if we waited a day. You're like, oh, okay, I'm good with it then. And then the King of Cups, which is balancing of heart and mind. So they're very serene. I just feel this gentleness of, everything's going to balance out. Everything's, go with the flow. You're good. Everything is, you know, unfolding here with this Wheel of Fortune. Because this Wheel of Fortune tells us everything always unfolds for our highest experience. But when the Wheel of Fortune appears, I've been calling it the wheel of the tune of for you, where even your human likes the tune and feels like whatever is unfolding. Because sometimes our human side goes, I don't see why this is fortunate for me. And we might see it like later in life or when we're back on the other side and go, oh, yeah. But this is a card, is this representation that even now our human in the moment goes, oh yeah, this is for me. And so I like it. So that's what they have for you, Bree. So many blessings for you. And we'll continue moving down the list. Right? Woohoo! All right. So Dollface Diva, you'd like a general for next week. Let's see. What does Spirit want you to know for next week? Okay, they want that one. What else? Anything else? Okay. All right. I like the movement here from Five of Pentacles, which, is a feeling like maybe we're starting off feeling a little abandoned out in the cold or left behind or feeling a little lack going on in our life. But by the end of the week, we have 10 of Cups where we feel like we're overflowing and brimming emotionally. So, whatever happens throughout the week, there is this awareness that comes in just about that these feelings of feeling alone and being abandoned and not having, almost like, not feeling, we can get into those where we're like, I don't feel like anyone loves me and no one really cares. By the end of the week, you're like, people care. And I like it because it just, tells me that there's going to be some things that unfold where people just, uh, do whatever little thing that they do just to show they care, whether it's dropping off a snack or asking you to go to lunch or just giving you a big hug or whatever it is. I feel like this week that you do start off feeling a little kind of like abandoned. But by the end of the week, you feel like very loved and embraced by friends, family, and who knows what else. But I like that for you. So that's what they have for you, Dollface Divas. So many blessings for you. You're welcome, Dijona. All right, Dondera, you are up next. So you'd like to know about you dreaming with H and his family. See, there's a lot of dreaming going on. We're not alone. All right. So what's this dreaming about with H and the family? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like the dreaming here, the Knight of Swords, this is your thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, attitudes, expectations. But the Knight is like this pursuit of truth, trying to understand and see things from a different perspective. And I feel here with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles here, there's some fears that are just bubbling underneath that your subconscious wanted to bring up about, you know, um, one, are you going to have enough? Are you going to have sustenance? A fear of not being chosen, a fear of not having what you need, because the Nine of Pentacles is the hermit's journey of kind of turning within and finding your worth from the inside instead of the outside. And so there's kind of like this little going inside your subconscious to bring that up. And as we were talking about before, when we were talking about dreams, it's the opportunity when our brain is asleep for our subconscious and our spirit posse to bring things up and start having us so we can process them and bring the stuff up so that we can confront it and release it so it's not doesn't impact us anymore. So the fear about having enough is what's coming in here. And then the other piece of this, which is intertwined here, because it's like the six is like the nine upside down. But the Six of Pentacles is about these feelings of unworthiness where, we feel like we have to overgive in order to receive. And these would go back to, you might hear them talk about this a lot on the channel because Spirit talks about when we're 7 years old and younger, that's when our emotional body is being formed and created. And it's also when our rate of emotional exchange is kind of formulated. And we're children, we don't know any better. We're just like, our parents are busy, our grandparents are busy, whoever we're trying to get attention and a love from, they're so busy that we have to do extreme things to get a little attention, a little bit of love. And so we have this rate of love exchange. I usually say 1,000 coins of love, and I get 1 coin back. And we think, well, that's the rate of exchange. And then it seeps into our subconscious. And that's how we run our lives. This extreme, I have to give so much to deserve so little. And this is the your subconscious bringing it up in your dreaming about your interactions of worthiness and conflict and fear of rejection. So if they're rejecting or if there's fighting or you feel like you're not part of it and all of this, these are the fears that are bubbling up just so that you can look at them and see them for what they are, which are lies. And we bring up that consciousness, we bring into our consciousness those out of balance rate of love exchange, and we really think about who was it. And usually our parents are a usual suspect, which like your parents felt the same way and their parents felt the same way and their parents felt the same way. I mean, usually when people are having children, they're so busy trying to live, have a roof over their head, make sure you have food, make sure they're doing everything, all this stuff. They have little time, especially if you're competing with other siblings. It's like it goes back generations and generations, probably to the first family or first families. But when you realize who it is, then you're like, oh, and then a little edit button appears, above the 1,000. And you click in there, you delete the zeros to where it goes to one instead of one to 1,000. Click save, and then that goes in there. That helps us have this energy of equal giving and receiving and a different way of looking at our worth, and it helps us transform. So I feel like that's what kind of the dreaming is about and what your subconscious is bringing up. So that's what they have right now. So hopefully that makes sense there and relates to the dreams that you were having. So many blessings to you. Sweet dreams. I know. And yeah, I should have mentioned, as well, news, to you too. Before you go to sleep, you can always, you can when you're in the tired state and about to go to sleep, you can talk to your subconscious and go, "Let's have gentle dreams, gentle lessons, let's do it in a fun way." You know? I even sometimes I like to I love flying in my dreams, and so I say, "Hey, tonight, can we fly?" And they do. They allow me to go flying most of the time, and it's just so freeing, so I like it. Alright, so that's what they have. So, Christy Okana, you are up next. Hello, and will you be getting the call for a job at the shores? Ooh, let's take a look here. Anything else? So, we've got the 8 of cups and we've got the tower here. And at first look, it's like, "Oh, this is bad news," but I don't feel that way. Especially with the 8 of cups is leaving behind emotions and things that no longer serve you and heading off, this would be the shores, right? But I feel like it's leaving behind emotions that no longer serve, and you're moving forward, and the tower is about what's removed out of your life is moved out of the way to make room for you to head towards what you're wanting and where you're heading. And I feel like there's almost like this message here of, trusting that the unfolding here definitely, yeah, is is for your highest here, and that I feel like it's going to come to fruition, and I feel like they're like showing you that the things that were moved, the things that have been happening, have been removing things so that you could leave behind people, emotions that no longer serve you, and head off to something that's more in alignment with your dreams. Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card, and that's where they're headed off here to the wish in the sky there. And then here you are living the dream, shining bright, enjoying what you're doing. And some people may not like that. Why do you get your dreams to come true? I think I mentioned it a couple times because I just got tickled with a meme I saw. Because usually I say, the people that are trying to drag you down are like, why can you be happy? Come back down here and be miserable with the rest of us because misery loves company. But the meme also says, misery loves company, but so does joy, and they have better parties. So I feel like this is an affirmative that's coming in here, and I just feel like you're gonna see why all this stuff has been happening, how things have been being maneuvered for you to be able to go for a job at the shores, and that you're able to leave behind and not feel guilty, and to make I don't know if this is a relocation, but it feels like movement for sure, even if it's emotionally or mentally. But I feel physically it's just this wonderful thing. So I am feeling positive vibes with this, for you, Christy. So I like it. I like it. So that is what they have for you. So many, many blessings. All right. Right. So Felicia, you are up next. And thank you so much for the reminder about the like button. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. For all of you that give the video a thumbs up, it does help spread the love tsunami to the world. So thank you for being part of that. I greatly appreciate that. So Felicia, should you take the contract? Oh, should you take contact? Should you contact the agency regarding the job offer, or should you wait for the call from them? Gotcha. All right, let's take a look here and see what's for your highest experience, waiting or contacting. All right. So with the four pentacles and the eight of pentacles, I feel like this is go with the flow right now. The four pentacles is about a solid foundation in the outside world, which is kind of telling me that things are going fine. Usually that strength card doesn't mean this, but I mean you are with yourself here. This is your human and your higher self, but I kind of see like four objects on each side, which is a smooth flow. And this is with the four and the eight. It's a very even numbers with this flow in between. So I feel like not to contact yet. I don't have any. I mean, I didn't get any uh, swords, which would be communication type of cards here. Um, it just feels very go with the flow. Um, they'll contact you in the perfect time while you're waiting. The strength card does say while you're waiting, just work on your connection to your higher self, raising that self-love, looking at what are you fearing about getting or not getting the job, right? Because you can really look into that, and understand what's the bubbling going on, right? Because usually there's like four things you can ask yourself. One is, why do I desire to have this job? And what do I fear about not getting it? Then you can ask yourself, let's say, what would be the opposite of that? So why do I desire? Oh, why do you desire not to have the job? And why do you fear desiring not having the job? And so there's this understanding. It's the subconscious. It's going, oh, okay. Is there fear of failure? Some of them will overlap, the answers to things like we know why we want to have the job because it's like, oh, it has this and has this. And, you know, but why do I fear getting the job? Oh, because I fear failing if I get it. And what if I don't do well? And blah, blah, blah. What if it doesn't turn? We just bring all this stuff from underneath to the surface, and we can look at it and go, "Oh, okay." And we don't have to do anything with it. It's just information. Once our brain is aware of it, it takes away the power of it going underneath. And I feel like that's something while you're waiting that can help transform things. So I like it for you. That's what they have for you, Felicia. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. There it goes. There it goes. It's beautiful, though. We learn so much, right, through our experiences. So I like it. All right. And I do have another donation coming through. Surely you will be my next free reading in just a moment. Hey, Renee, you're back for more. You're so funny. So, more on how it would be. Okay. So, Jay, let's take a look here. What does spirit want you to know about how that would be? What would that look like? What would be your experience around this? All right. Okay. Let's take a look here. What are all these cards? All right. Excuse me. So you do have the 4 of cups here. And, the 4 of cups is about, here's the love that we normally experience. And I feel like it would heighten this love here from a different point of view. And I see that for a couple of reasons. One, the devil card comes in, which this is us trapped in our beliefs about the supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to, the must, and all of that around relationship and love and interactions, right? And the whole thing that the shadow does, it's Saturn, it's Capricorn energy, which is all about, all of those um, beliefs that you've been having your entire life that you learned when you were younger and everything. And you're like, yeah, yeah, all those stuff. Yeah, all of those. They're like, I want you to question them and see which ones really are untrue and that you can get rid of. What? You mean all this foundation I've been working on? Uh-huh. And so that's what they bring up. They allow you to question these beliefs and have this release that comes in here because we also have here the Seven of Swords and the Prince of Swords, which this is the Page of Swords. New ways of thinking about love. And then the Seven of Swords is that the interaction allows you to see what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets have stolen love from you in the past, and also opportunities and things like that, because these are all below the surface here in our subconscious. So there's all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm aware of these, and like, oh, but there's more. There's four more underneath here. And so there's this awareness that comes around through it. I feel like that they're a pretty cool person, um, because I feel like they're patient and that you're able to work through it. They're reminding me of a relationship I had where they were going to school to become a counselor and like a not a psychiatrist, but in counseling. And they were getting their masters, and the I felt like I was one of the I think they probably felt I thought I was one of their projects because I would, as we were going through things and we were just dating, we weren't even, like, in a committed relationship because we had both come out of other relationships, and and it's funny because I would be like things would be sparked within me, and I'd be able to talk to them about it, and they'd feel bad. They're like, "I'm sorry, I didn't want you to feel that way." And I'd be like, "Oh, no." I go, "This has nothing to do with you. I totally understand. This is my old stuff that's coming up." And they were really so cool. They were, like, listening, and they would use the tools they're learning, you know? So I felt it was a win-win for us, but I feel like that's how they are, that they have this openness for this because we do have the lovers here card that came in. We do have the sun card, which is about Leo energy and getting into the subconscious and the unconscious, but also victory and bright. And I feel like this would go well. And we had the Prince of Wands too. So two princes, but the Prince of Wands is new passion. I feel like it would just um, I feel like it would just cut away, with cutting away these things that were holding things and keeping things, it's almost like this moon up here, like these roles are keeping the moon and emotions trapped in this little antlers that as these get released, it allows you to become fuller and experience such more deep emotion and passion through this too. So I would just really, I'm getting like good vibes through all of that, if that makes sense. Very good. I like it. So that is what they have for you, Renee. And thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that, as always. All right. Put all those cards back here. And so I think that was all the donations. Let me just make sure. Yep. And so, Shirley, you are up next. I love your horses. Ba-dum. So, are you on the right path of what you are supposed to be doing work wise? You had the equestrian riding, and didn't you were teaching before too, right? I think. So it's sometimes tough trying to make a living. Today was good. Yay! Celebrate today. Let's take a look here. Is what we're going to do. There's no shoulds on the other side from spirit. So they're altering your question to say, hey, is equestrian riding lessons for my highest experience right now? Or is there something else? Okay, so let's see what they have here. Anything else? If we get any knights or any horse cards, we know that's an affirmative. No horses, no horses. Oh. Um, so we've got the high priestess here, which the high priestess is about kind of if you're able to kind of just step back and connect to the spirit world, look beyond, the veil and dive deep into your emotions, you're going to see some things here. There's the three of swords are like our fears, our, expectations equal disappointment. And we are afraid to not live up to expectations of some somewhere, somehow, right? And the Eight of Swords also, swords. So our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets is huge here. And the Eight of Swords allows you to see what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets have been limiting you, blinding you, binding you, keeping you held back from like living your dream. I usually feel like with the High Priestess, she's really diving into her high heart to find out what is it that she truly wants to do, and what is the high heart? How does it uniquely want to express its unconditional love with the world? And, so if in your heart of hearts, not anything to do with the mind and the mind, the supposed to's, the shoulds, the need to's, the have to's, and all that stuff. If in your heart of hearts, you're like equestrian riding and teaching people that is it, I feel like there's something holding you back from fully committing to it, like even moving to go somewhere where it is like you could have this full time flowing occupation doing it. But there's these limitations like, well, no, I can't this, I can't that, or whatever. Those are those fears whispering, going, oh, no, no, no. It's like our little inner child afraid. It likes our inner child absolutely loves normalcy and no change. It doesn't want to be like, oh, if we think about moving, no, I'm scared, word, 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 and it'll throw us into fear and sound alarms and really buckle down because it doesn't want change. It doesn't want it. But eventually, at some point, it'll also get irritated that it's not able, like the heart is not living its dream. And this, I feel, is like kind of where you're at right now. So, if, like I said, equestrian riding lessons, doing that is like your passion, and you're like on my deathbed looking over my life, I wish that I would have done that all of my life. Then find what start searching everywhere. Where can I find this, right? And what do I need to, your dream, you're gonna just sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed to live that dream. And if you're not willing to do that, look into the fears of why, which is what these are. And you might find that, like, well, maybe that isn't what my ultimate dream is. What am I willing to sacrifice my entire life to do? And I feel like that is what they're having you look into there. It's really in your heart to train horses. Oh yeah, I understand. I love horses. Have such beautiful souls. Yeah. So so you did it before you moved to train horses. Is there something somewhere else that offers more opportunities in training horses? I know, move again now. It's like, you know, but follow your heart. I just really feel like that's the big thing, is for them to say, is take a step back, look at everything, and see where is it that you want to, is there other opportunities, or even talk to the owner and say, I'm having trouble. Is there anything more that we can offer and do? And or is there anyone that you can fire so I can have more work? I'm just kidding. but let try to let all fears go and look at options. Because if that's your dream, then definitely this is the path, right? And we're willing to do what we need to do and sacrifice what we're willing to sacrifice. And um, it's just like taking a step back and looking at, when you find this, like you're like, this is, like doing readings and doing spirit work was my lifelong dream, and I was willing to sell my truck and sell my condo and, limit and downsize to where I didn't have to worry about a whole lot of extra expenses to, and it didn't feel like sacrifice, because that was my true north. I know this is it, and if it doesn't support it, it gots to go. And that's kind of what I feel like this is. There's some things that can go, or different places to go. So I like it though. I feel like horses are for you. So I like it. Yeah. Yay! Yeah, definitely transforming that. Beautiful. Maybe you were a horse in a past life. I like it. So you definitely, I feel like you're on the right track, but it's just a matter of don't be afraid to look around the United States, or if you're willing to travel to other countries, um, but don't let anything limit. Right? It's just like, okay, let me see what's out there. All right. So I'm excited to see what happens. Many, many blessings for you, surely. All right. So I think up next we got always victory. And always victory. So you say, why didn't spirit honor its promise it made to you regarding LIS? You kept your end of the bargain, but spirit didn't. Yeah, interesting. Let's take a look here and see what is your answer, spirit? Why? Oh, okay. They said they want to a return of spirit oracles. So let's take a look here. I guess they don't want they want to have it clear where I'm reading from a book and not mine. They're saying, "We're innocent." Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Your spirit team is funny. Let's see what this says. What? No, we're innocent. They're just funny. Too often, we carry around the extra baggage of guilt and shame. This card has come to you today because it's time to release these feelings. The universe sees your innocence and is asking that you begin to see it too. These long held beliefs are buried within your core and they are interfering with your progression. Oh, it's time to release any shame you carry about who you are or guilt over actions you did or did not do. These old values only lead you to question whether you're good enough, deserving, or worthy. What if I'd done more, been more? What if I hadn't done that? Why did I say or do that? They make you question if you as a person are enough. But the universe sees you with the same eyes we see a child with, perfect in every way. And as perfect as a child learning through the mistakes they make, only ever really wanting love and approval. You need to see your own innocence, no matter what you may have done or when. This is the first step to healing your heart and spirit. It's a necessary step in moving forward and claiming your place in the world. The innocence card may also come if it's time to see the innocence in another person. It's important to delve below the surface of any feelings of anger, hurt, or disappointment. And within your heart, allow yourself to see the innocence in the other person's actions and behaviors. This can bring profound healing and may even help you to see your own innocence. And Spirit is calling you to begin to see your innocence and divine perfection. This one simple act will allow the seeds of self forgiveness and self love to blossom within. So, with the situation that you're mentioning, I feel with what is being said here, especially since they keep on talking about at the core, diving deep below the surface, that um, there are things, like when we ask, spirit for something and spirit says, yes, I will bring this to you. Our energies, do have to match up. And like you said, you feel I held up my end of the bargain. And we can in our conscious world feel we've done everything consciously, but that's only 10% of what's going on. We've got 90% of what's at our core and below the surface. And there are can be things that our child self, our subconscious down below, that creates barriers for things. And um, so, I talk a little bit about, how, um, there's some worth things that we have when we're younger that are still bouncing around underneath, where it has this way out of balance, um, ratio of giving and receiving love and worth. I think we've talked about before the 1,000 coins of love that we have to give to deserve. We feel we only deserve one back, and there's this way out of balance, and it's underneath there, and it creates these invisible barriers that keep things from us because even though um, our conscious mind is like, yes, yes, like a little, I want that new car. And then spirit goes, well, I can bring it to you. And you're like, yes, 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 yes. And inside, our child self goes, we're not worthy of that. We haven't done, you know, quite enough to deserve that. So there's this force field that keeps the car from coming to us. And that's what I feel is coming up with this, is that, you consciously, you were doing what you felt you needed to do for this situation. Spirit was wanting to bring it, but there's some beliefs that are down under our core that keep it, from. It's like it's in this invisible wall. We can see it. It's like it's so close. I could just touch it, but it's in behind this little barrier. So I feel that's what's coming in with that. But I like that. We're innocent and you're innocent. Like you're both innocent. It's like, but the little child self has like this little like, oops, that was me. Um, so that's what I feel's coming through, always victory. So hopefully that resonates. But that's what they have coming through. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. So, Tanisha, you'll be the next free reading, but I do have a donation that came through. LA. Whoop, whoop, change question time. So, thank you so much, ES, for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And you want a general reading for the rest of the month of April? Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see, what do they have coming through? What do they want you to know for the rest of the month of April? And then with the bottom one, because that's what's unseen. So we'll take that. And what else? All right. I like that. I like that. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. All right. So I like this through the month of April here. You do have this ending and this new beginning here, this leaving old cycles and old ways of looking at some things in your life behind and moving into new ways here. And I feel like 5 represents May. I feel like this is bringing you into this exciting new change of energy, this transformative type of energy. But I feel like this is like at the end of April. By the end of April, there's been a significant way of different way of looking at things, that you're ready to end some cycles that begin this new wonderful, just it's like May starts with a bang, is like what I'm hearing and feeling. I like this because you have the 4, which April, the 4 of Pentacles is a very stable April, um, in the outside world. 4, you think of like a huge table with 4 huge, legs on it. It's a very solid foundation, which I like. And it comes around, the 4 of Pentacles teaches us some great, great lessons of, that when we define our worth by the outside world, we feel unstable because the outside world is unstable. And so, it's 3 areas that we are taught to look at and define ourselves by, right? Which are relationships, situations, and things. And so, relationships, People change, people pass away, people walk away. So relationships unstable. So when we define ourselves by that, we feel unstable. Situations like our jobs, our education, social status, whatever things we can get into, it does change. It's constantly changing, right? So unstable as well. And then things like our bank accounts, our possessions, our bodies, they all deteriorate, they break down, they blow up, burn down, stolen, so all unstable. Eventually, we turn inward and upward because we're so just bored with the instability of the outside world. We're like, everywhere I look, instability. Where can I look? And they're like, ding, 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 ding. Okay, let me look in here. Haven't looked in here for my stability. And then we turn inward and upward, and that's where we find, you know, the eternal, unconditional love of the Creator and of Source, and the all the spiritual side of our existence. Eternal is forever. That's pretty stable. Unconditional, also very stable, because there's nothing we can do to lose it, because there's not even one condition around it. So I feel like this is something you're learning throughout this month. And what was unseen and underneath was the Hermit card, which is turning inward and upward. So this is the journey that you're on, and what you're going through in April is you're just really having this aha about, you know what? The only thing that I have ever found that is stable is that love from inside. And then once you find your stability on the inside, it feels great. Because I call that, we find our self-worth, from within. Because capital S, self-worth, is from the self. But when we look to the outside world for our worth, that's called retail price. It's like, what am I worth to everyone outside? And that's the whole thing. That's where instability of the retail world, right? Because you could be a warm parka coat. This is a example they use a lot, so I apologize if you heard it already. But I can just picture it. If you're a warm parka coat and you're in the Antarctic during the winter, uh, you are priceless. People are fighting over you, and you're probably even marked up in price, right? But if you're that same parka coat on the equator on a tropical island during the summer, you don't even probably make it to the clearance rack. You're just donated to Goodwill. And that's the fickleness of the outside world. And that's why it's so unstable. But I feel like this is the month where you turn inward and upward for that. And it changes things here for you. We'll do this. So you've got the Six of Swords, which is movement, and I feel like this is June. So you have April and you have May, and then you have June, which you have this changing of thoughts, the way you're looking at love, moving from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. And I feel like this really brings in this, you know, love, this new way of looking at love, whether it's romantic or a best friend or whatever it may be. There's just this huge transformation that happens, and the Three of Wands shows you that you are changing directions in your life. June just feels like there's this choice that you make, and this is like, because you're learning in the month of April this, and then May starts off with a bang, and you just really apply what you've learned, and then June you're just like, boom, I've got some changes to make, and then that's what comes in. And I feel like a lot of this is about love, about an interaction with another individual. So I like all this for you. So I'm excited. But that is what they have for you, ES. So thank you so much. And thank you for your donation. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And much love to you. You are very welcome. I'm going to close my blinds here. All right. All right. I think that is all my donations right now. Let me just check here. Yep. All right. And let me just adjust my screen. Okay. And then we had left off with Tanisha. Tanisha. Hey, babe. How are you? I am doing very well. Hope you are doing well. I see that you asked a question further down, so we will get to that here in just a sec. Elpedia, hi. You guys crack me up. All right. And so your question, Elpedia, is what are current energies of your ex work colleagues towards you? You used to work at GSS. All right, let's take a look here and see what the energies are here. I imagine there'll be a variety of different ones, is what I'm feeling, because it depends on each person, right? And it depends on how they're feeling as as they're going through it. So I feel like one person, I got 3 cards. So one person I feel feels like, "Wow, you're lucky you got out and where you're headed." And they're kind of like looking at like, "You're lucky that you got to get out of there." So that might be a disgruntled person that feels like they are not having a good time there. The 6 of Wands here, I feel like there is one colleague, that you might still be interacting with because this is someone sees you, it's like either you go somewhere the same, where they still see you and they don't see, this is like someone recognizing and going, you did what you needed to do, and they're not looking down on you. But for some reason I feel like it's you still see this one ex-colleague, and they kind of see you as here, like, reach for the stars, go for what you want, and this wasn't what you wanted. And so they're not jealous of you. They might, like, joke that they're jealous of you, but they're like, "Yeah, you're doing good." So I don't know this one that you see. And then someone else also sees you as just very in charge, and they always saw you as someone that went after what you wanted to go after, and here's this fire and this connection, and that, you choose to go and do what you wanna do, and, you always so all these cats, for some reason, they're saying, um, you always land on your feet. You're like a cat, no matter where you fall from or whatever you do, you always land up on your feet. So there, there's not like a whole lot of concern. Seems like most people feel like you're lucky, to have moved on, and they are. It's like they're supporting that you are, um, taking the bull by the horns, and you're doing what you're wanting to do, and you're headed off, and you'll be fine, um, is a lot of what is coming through. So that's what's coming in right now. Again, whenever we ask about what do people think towards me and what are their energies toward me or whatever, we're all mirrors. And so when a monkey looks in a mirror, they see a monkey. A lion looks in the mirror, they see a lion. A bird looks in the mirror, it sees a bird. So, it varies, and it's through these their own glasses of themselves. So, what spirit would like always likes to do is flip the switch on us, flip the question on us. And so what are your current energies towards your ex-colleagues? Because that'll tell you more about you and your energies and fears and things that what you learned in looking in the mirror of these individuals. And that's energy more well spent because it's like asking, what does that monkey see when they look in the mirror? "Oh, a monkey." And you're like, "What did you learn?" "Oh, that a monkey sees a monkey when they look in a mirror." But when you're like, "What do I see when I look in the mirror?" Ooh, there goes the deep stuff, right? All right. But that's what they have for you, Elpedia. So many blessings for you. All right. Up next, we have Doña Vuai Pompey. I'm probably totally murdering that name. So sorry. And you want to know um, what is the one of you and Devin? So I'm thinking you're asking what do they want of you and Devin? What's going to happen between you two? Spirit knows what you want. Let's take a look here. So there's this possibility and this desire of the 10 of Pentacles, which is the happily ever after type of energy, right? the marriage and the kids and the dog and the castle and the money and the the romance. But there's the 8 of Swords that stands in the way of this beautiful story unfolding, and the 8 of Swords, swords are like each of your, uh, thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and expectations that have been around relationship. What's this story that you've been told all your life of the supposed to and the should and the need to, the have to, and the musts? And they differ, they're a bit different, and when we have that conflict, that's what our own thoughts, our own beliefs, our own mindsets are what blind us and bind us and, keep us trapped and keep us from moving to here. So Spirit is saying, like, there is a possibility for this, but, it does take looking at your own fears you have around, losing conditional love, looking at all those rules that are, underneath the surface and in our brain about everything we've been taught about who and how and when and all of that, because with all of those things that we have, it does bind us, it does trap us, it cages our heart, and it limits the creator and the universe from bringing what is truly for our highest experience, because we're not allowing it, right? We have this, um you know I don't know, mistrust. We feel like we have to control it. We have to decide who, we have to decide when, we have to decide, how it all is all supposed to be and who I'm supposed to be in it. When we're like, you know what? If I'm boxing out the creator and everything, what's going to happen? Probably going to choose something that's not for my highest, because I'm rushing in and wanting to find something that I can just have right now. Whereas creator, when we trust and just get rid of all of our expectations, focus on our inner love, connecting to the higher realms, and go, I trust you, creator, to bring me who, however you want to bring them and when you want to bring them, because I know you'll bring it in the perfect timing, the perfect person, the perfect way, and the perfect timing. I trust you for that. And when we don't, that's when we fear, we take it on ourselves, going, here, let me help you with that. And that's when we grab the wheel and we go off road and get in an accident, because the creator's like, okay, how about I drive the rest of the way? And you're like, yes, please. So that's what I feel is coming through right now for you at Dana, Hawaii. So many blessings. Hang in there. All right. So LA. Let's go down to the alarm alert. So you wanted to change your question. So by you dragging on the case longer for your assault case, will they pay you more? It's a triggering case for you to begin with. Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. So what would the result be? Is it going to be more? So we do have the Empress, which is abundance, and we have the Page of Cups too, the Princess of Cups, which is higher emotion, um, emotional response from it. And we have the Seven of Swords too. I feel like what you learn through all this, I mean, I do feel like you will, um, have more of an abundance that comes in this, here. No, this is for LA. Tanisha, I think I already did yours. Um, but LA, I feel like you have this, you have more abundance and kind of a rebirth here. And then you also have, this heightened feeling of emotion, like you feel like um, it just feels like satisfaction and healing for the result of doing that. And the Seven of Swords, I feel like with this being drawn out longer, it is an opportunity, for you to look at the fears that you have around this situation too. Like you said, it's triggering. Well, yeah, these are all the triggers here for sure. These thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are attached to the assault and attached to those things, where there's some freedom that gets to come from this, that you get to release pain, you get to release beliefs around what these things mean, and all that beautiful, beautiful freedom that comes. So I feel like this gives you time to really process some thoughts and some beliefs that open up the emotions and the birth here. So I feel like that was they're saying like, yeah, this is um, a positive thing. Yeah, well, it definitely is a choice to make, and if they antagonize you, I feel like that will make you really question things, right? And really get in there and do those. But that's what you get to decide, right? Spirit doesn't decide that for us. It's like, is that worth it for you? And then if you're like, no, it's not, then you know what you can do. Or you're like, you know what? It is. I feel like you'll get paid more. But is it truly worth it? Do you want to extend it more? Especially if it's triggering? Or do you feel you'll learn through the triggering and be able to release more? So um there's no wrong choice. There's just different experiences, right? So you get to decide. There's no right or wrong. You get to decide for you, and that's empowering. So I like that for you, LA. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot more to that, to all of this, right? The triggers are what are down underneath that. This is where the true healing and release will be. No matter what the results of a case, you know the the real court is taking place inside of you, and that's where you'll hear all the time that people will, if someone murdered a family member and they get the electric chair, they get prison or whatever, they still don't feel resolve, because the resolve has to happen in here regardless of what happens out here. And I know sometimes it's like, well, it helps. It helps that at least they get punished in the outside world, but we're continually punishing ourselves, um, and we're imprisoning ourselves with the situation as well. It's like we go to prison with them, or we're have punishment that goes along with it too. Yeah. So that's definitely another adventure, right? So hang in there, LA. Much love to you. All right. So let's take a look here. Up next. So news. All right. So I think I left off with Marlene 15. You were up next, and general read. Absolutely. Let's take a look here. Oh, Tanisha, I don't think I did have yours yet. Now that I see you here, maybe it was earlier today. What can I say? They all start running together on the weekends, especially since I do two a day. So, Tanisha, I see here you will be up next with regarding your apartment. All right, Marlene. So, general read for you. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. All right. I do see some wonderful power coming in here for you with the magician, because this is divine masculine energy, which we all have divine masculine and feminine. This is the stepping forward, taking action, initiating things. And the Four of Swords here is peace of mind. And I feel like this is spawning this, because the Four of Swords, normally there's not the Four Swords here. They're usually sleeping on the Ace of Swords, and then three swords are on the wall, which represents the three swords is normally the um expectations equal disappointment, or heartbreak card where there's usually a heart with three swords stuck in it. And that represents our fears of, rejection, our fear of failing, all the fears that we have of all these stories that we've been told, which does have all these stories here of, the three. I always joke here ever since I noticed, like, this is not Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is Geronimo and the Trout and the Three Bears. And what's going on here? It's like all these stories that we've been given are all jumbled in our head. And they have these fears, but the peace of mind comes in when we sleep on that Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords allows us to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, those that are rooted in unconditional love. And they allow us to cut away thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that no longer serve us, these that are rooted in fear. And that allows you then to step forward. So, whatever this was that before, these stories of limitedness and smallness and that you can't do something or not worthy of something, they're being, cut away with that Ace of Swords, which is allowing you to step forward and to initiate things that you didn't feel you would be able to initiate before or head towards or deserve. So I like this empowerment that's coming in because there's some great amount of balance that's coming in with this. So I like that for you, Marlene. So whatever the situation is that is you're encountering, it's like, what am I fearing, and what stories have been put to this that are untrue, and let me put those stories away, and I'm creating my new story, and I have the magician wand, and I'm going to write a new story about what this is. I get to decide. So that's where this empowerment, I feel, is coming in there. So that is what they have for you, Marlene. So many blessings. I'm excited for you. All right. So Tanisha, sorry, I earlier I thought I had already answered your question, but I don't think that was in this evening's. It was probably this morning. So my apologies. I didn't mean to lie. All right. So Tanisha, you want to know, will you get this apartment for 1,300 in your old neighborhood? You talked to the owner, which is a good thing. Oh yeah. All right. Let's take a look here. So what does Spirit want you to know about this apartment? Okay. Okay. You know, okay, then we'll start with this one. So we have we have like two sets here. So this is the way that they're gonna come out here. So first of all, you have the magician card and the ace of swords here. I feel like with this combination, I know it may not like stand out as a yes, but the magician stepping into your power and new beginnings, new communication with the ace of swords coming in here. This feels like a yes for me because the seven of wands is you shining bright and standing on a hill with people going, why do you get to have that? Why do you always get, this wonderful stuff and we don't? So this is like this brightness. It feels like this victory, like, yeah. And I love this because the five is a number of change too, which I feel this is spawning and taking you into this part of your life to really have you look into what you truly want and what you truly want to unfold in your life. I almost feel like it's like this getting into this apartment, and this is like, um you know it's a great victory for you, but it really makes you, it like triggers this inner journey for you too, of what do I want for, me and for life and da 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 da. And I don't know why, like you said, this is your old neighborhood. So I feel like something sparks you when you move into your old neighborhood to really evaluate. I don't know. It almost like it takes you back and it just makes you like really want to look over your entire life and go, what have I done? Where am I going? Da da da, da, kind of feel to it. So that's interesting. So I feel like it's a yes, and that it does spark some great super reflection for you too. So that's what they have for you, Tanisha. So many blessings to you. Right. Info entertainment. You'll be my next free reading, but I do have a donation. Thank you so much, Olivia, for your donation. You're welcome, Marlene. All right. All right. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, too. So, how did the DW conversation with BW go today? So, how's DW feeling? Okay, let's take a look here, and we'll just take a look here. See, how did the conversation go? And then we'll see how is DW feeling about how that went. Oh, okay. All right. Very adamant card there. All right. So let's take a look here. Okay. Well, it seems like it went well here. I mean, the 9 of Cups is like this emotional feeling. It's usually like a wish come true kind of feeling in the Wheel of Fortune. So this feels like it went really well. Um, by spirit standards because there's a lot of wishes being fulfilled and the wheel of fortune is churning and turning here. So it seems like it went really really well here. And DW, it feels here, look at the lions here standing in their power. The king of wands is, their understanding. This is like the magician where they have the magic wand and they know whatever they focus on grows and expands, and they really step into their power. They understand the passion. It balances out some strong energies too. They really, um, the other fiery, members of the suit of wands can get out of balance with their fire, but the king really handles fire well. They understand and they can stand the heat, if that makes sense. And the strength card, they have this inner strength here. This is their human self, and this infinity symbol is their higher self. They have this inner strength, this inner core. So just with all of this, it feels like they are very secure. They're very solid, with whatever the outcome was. But I mean, it looks like it was a really good outcome. And so why wouldn't they, right? Unless the outcome was good for, BW, and DW got the, crappy end of the deal or whatever, but they're fine with it. I feel like they're strong and they don't they don't react a whole lot to the outside stuff. They know that everything works out one way or another, and they work through that. So I'm not sure um, about anything else other than that here. Let me see if there's anything else. And it just if that resonates and makes sense there. Mm. Yeah, because there seemed like there was maybe there was a heated conversation, maybe with this Eight of Wands, passionate or maybe, but a lot of energy around their conversation. And the Fool card is about a brand new start, a brand new adventure without a lot of expectations and limitations, too. So, this comes after the World card, which is ending of old cycles, new beginnings. So I feel like there's this freedom that comes through this too, like an adventurous type of new beginning type of energy too. So, but I feel like everyone in the end feels, oh, sure. Um, let's see what BW feels here. Well, I kind of feel like they feel like the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like that was them, and these others were DW's feelings. But yeah, because it looks like BW feels like the Knight of Pentacles. The journey continues now towards trying to find this, love story, this beautiful foundation and fullness in the outside world. So I feel like they're still looking to have uh, this romantic story, not necessarily with them, but there's like this search here. So I don't know, did they go their separate ways? Is this what this is all about? Because it feels like someone was like, I want this, and this is what I want, and the other one's like, have fun, and they're headed off in their new, like they feel like I don't, and I'm not sure if this is what it is because they're just showing me that there was one time where I was almost engaged to be engaged, and it was not going well because it started off we were going to be missionaries in another, we were going to head off and be, missionaries in another country, and she was all on board with it, and I was like, well, if we look at rings, why don't we just get little bands, little bands? And she was like, oh, and I like, not like a big ring. And I go, well, not if we're going to be like in, you know, out in Africa, helping people, and that ring on your finger would bring enough food for a year, you're going to end up with a missing finger because if you're trying to hold on to that ring. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's just keep it small and simple and everything. Right. And until she started talking to her friends at work, she was like a pharmacist. And she's talking to all her pharmacist friends about, yeah, we're gonna go look at rings and see. And they're like, oh, are they gonna get you a big ring? And when she told her, no, we're just gonna get bands, they were like, oh, like um, the size of the ring determines how much they love you. And so she told me that, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work out. I could just know right away this was not gonna go well, because I was like, I would think that my faithfulness and how I treated you every day showed you how much I loved you, not the size of the ring on your finger. And then, something else happened where there was actually a prophet was going through town. This is when I was back in Christianity, and they actually told her that that like a message from God came through, friend of everyone for her, that the person that she was wanting right now was a false one, that wasn't the one they were going to be with. And then so we went outside afterwards. We had gone in separate cars. Well, so probably that's what she was thinking on the inside too, right? You know, I don't think she was her parents were from Germany. I mean, from Germany, and so she was very, uh, she knew what she wanted. But when we, went outside, and this is that long story to get to this was, so she went outside and she goes, "Oh, so what they said in there, it seems like maybe you're the one that's not the one for me, and that you're the false person, and that someone else, that I'm supposed to marry someone else." And I go, "Yeah, I think so." She goes, "Why are you smiling?" Because I was relieved that it wasn't going to go down the direction. And that's the kind of energy I'm feeling from this, is like they're just both kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with it. And I feel like they're just not like someone's not heartbroken. They're disappointed that, oh, it's not going to go the way we had thought it was all going to be. But I feel like, you know, one is excited about the adventure that's ahead. That's they're going to find someone more like that they want. And then the others is like, woof, I'm out from underneath all this pressure and all this. Maybe one had a lot of expectations on them, and they're like, I'm never going to be able to meet up to that. And it kind of feels like a release for both of them. So that's kind of what I was getting from all those cards, too. And I'm having flashbacks. I'm starting to sweat. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what they have, Olivia. So many blessings. I wouldn't worry about them at all. All right. And all right. So we left off with info entertainment. So, info, what is coming towards you in regards to love? Let's take a look here and see. Thank you guys for your patience listening to my little story. but it had a reason to be said. All right. So right now, info, we've got the Hermit card. I know. So there is this journey right now of paying attention to you. And you have the Queen of Pentacles coming here too, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It's a time for you to give love to yourself, develop your self love, really, give yourself this love that you want to give to someone. They're like, give it to you first. You deserve it first. Because they show here too with the 10 of Wands. You've been investing a lot of energy towards love. And the 10 of Wands is like endings and new beginnings with where you're investing your energy. And it feels like it's been going into like a black hole, right? This energy, you're like, I want love. And it's like, why, why isn't it going anywhere? It feels like it's just going and disappearing. And it's because, it's this time that spirit's kind of blocking um, for you because your higher self and your higher heart want you to connect inward and upward and really have this new kind of um, reassessment of where you're investing your love energy. Instead of 10 different places, it's like cutting it away to where it's getting down to just one, and it's you. You're the one that you have to focus the love on. And then when you fill up and it overflows, it changes the love on the outside world. It changes what is brought to you. Because when we when our self-love and when our love vibration is lower, it draws in lower vibrational people and situations, right? And we're like, oh, yeah, we know that, right? And you've been working on raising your love vibration. And because of that, you're not a match for these things. And so they're not coming, they're actually getting repelled. And you might be feeling like, why am I kind of feeling like I'm in a desert? Where's everyone? Well, it's because they got repelled. But a little more of that raising that love vibration and focusing on the self-love is drawing higher vibrational energies to you, people that are more equal to the love that you're wanting to receive and that you deserve. And that's what's coming. And so, this is why the hermit mode is activated and why they're having you focus on you, that self love, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Getting out into nature, if you can, just really brings clarity. So, if you can get out away from everything, it just allows you to see the love that you can give yourself, doing things for yourself, doing things by yourself. And but raising that love vibration will change things. And that's what the message they have for you right now, info. So I know, but many blessings to you. All right. So continue moving down the list. Uh yeah, but but at the core, they, there's the whole thing about divorce and, um, when we get past our fears of being alone and never finding love again, we're like, yeah, I'm glad it ended because once they get past the fears, they're fine with it. Because deep inside, I feel like they're just going to be happy. They know they'll be happier separate. Uh, so, all right, Silent Victory. Hello, you're up next. And oh, well, very good. So we had pulled cards and it was a yes to the question if you were going to find a solution to an issue at work and you figured it out. Whoopsh. So that's it. High five. Great. I'm so thank you for the validation of their message because I love to hear those because you know I just love that they love to tell us and help us. So very good. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for sharing that, Silent Victory. All right, Nafisa Banu. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you part of our soul tribe, and hopefully you'll come back often. And so you want to know, will Wahid unblock you? You haven't had contact for 7 months, and he's a Gemini. All right, let's take a look here. See what Spirit wants you to know around that. So will Wahid unblock? Anything else? Is that it? Okay. Well, we've got the Two of Cups here, which can be Gemini energy too, but um you have the Two of Cups, which is the love, and we have the Temperance, which here's the Two Cups. Temperance, though, is a patience, and it's going to be, like you said, has it's been 7 months. The unblocking, I feel, is going to take a while here because the Temperance, you see the two cups pouring water back and forth. It is like slow process. It starts off with, in one cup it has a base metal with some magic dust in it, and as it goes back and forth, it slowly, ever slowly changes to gold. So, I feel like that they're saying it's gonna be a while before they would unblock you, um, with that, and, I just I feel like it's almost like this message of it's going to be a really really long time, and of course it's always up to us what we decide if we want to be patient and wait for contact, but there's no guarantee that this contact is going to result in anything, right? Just like they may contact unblock you, but that doesn't mean they'll contact you, because that wasn't our question, right? So I feel like they'll unblock you, but it's gonna take a while before they unblock you. So I don't almost feel like spirit's like, "Yeah, why waste your time?" You're like your spirit team is like, yeah, let's move on. Let's go have fun. Let's go on with life. Let it go. Let it go." Um, but that's what's coming through. So hang in there, Nafisa. And if you want to know more, you can ask more questions if you're wanting to know, will they contact me? Is it my highest to be with them? Will there be love in the future? We can ask questions like that too to see what spirit has, even though they kind of already said, ain't worth your time. What did you learn from it? Let's go. Let's move forward. All right. So many blessings to you, Nafisa. Again, thank you so much for being here. All right, spiritual gifts diva, you are up next. You want to know what is coming towards you. All right. Well, you have some new birth coming here for sure, because you've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new birth, new harvest. You've got the Empress, which really these are like sisters almost. The Empress is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So you've got it twice. And then you also have the Ace of Cups, which is new emotion, new love that enters in here too. So you definitely have this new birth that's on its way, this new stuff that's coming your way. I love this. Also, these are all about, with Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, it is nurturing yourself. And this does represent self love as well. So, it's like this dual message that working on yourself, giving yourself the love allows you to fill up and overflow. And that's what changes love and brings different things for you. But definitely, if you can get out into nature, connect with your self love and your higher self, letting go of emotions that no longer serve. What are emotions that are holding you back about loving yourself and allowing other people to love you, getting rid of old mindsets, old limiting beliefs. All that just helps free your heart to go higher because there are anchors that keep us down. But I feel like that's what you've been doing for months and months and months. So they're like, continue to get rid of those, anchors that are holding the love balloon down. That allows you to go higher and higher, in love. So I like that for you, spiritual gifts, Diva, and that's what they have for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. All right. Hey, intuitive enlightenment. Welcome, welcome. All right. And Pam B's Tarot, hello from Quebec, Canada. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And lovely, lovey. Thank you so much. It's definitely my honor. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you being here and all of you bringing your wonderful love in here. And, uh, and like as Felicia says here, I really appreciate all of the thumbs up that you give the video. It does help spread the Zen love, and so you're part of the love tsunami. It's like it seems like a small thing clicking the like button, but the well-known YouTube algorithm, it loves that. It uses that to see that people are interested, and it'll spread the videos of my channel automatically with others too. So, if you want to do that, I really appreciate that as well, and for all of you that already have. All right. Felicia. I actually I have earrings every day. Maybe they're just standing out against my black shirt. All right. Hey, Pooja Gupta. Hello, hello. You are up next here. And you want to know, how did Naman feel when you met last time? Absolutely. All right. And then always victory. I will get to you after you post your question. So, Pooja Gupta. So, what did Naman feel when you met last time? Let's take a look here. Confused. You're like, "No kidding." Well, 7 of Cups is emotional confusion, which means they had a lot of different emotions that were going on there. One of the things they felt too, the 9 of Wands, 9 is like a hermit's journey in the Wands, is our drive, our passion, our inspiration. But there's like this block that was here too. And I feel like they have uncertainty about what emotion do I want to feel? I'm feeling so many, but there's also some subconscious things that are going on that are creating these blocks from them, you know, allowing their emotions to flow into passion, into energy, into movement. There's something that's holding them back that's has nothing to do with you. It has to do with their past. Because whenever there's an energetic block, uh, they always originate emotionally from when we're 7 years old and younger. There's so many emotional stories and opinions and habits that are formed, but there's so much that's bubbling underneath the surface. 90% of our life is subconscious. So we're like, why can't I, like a glass ceiling of I can't get a job or make money above a certain thing or get into a relationship or have a relationship last a certain time or whatever it is. These blocks are from our little human inner child that is like, no, I don't want that, I feel unsafe and I don't think we deserve that because of what happened. And so I feel like that's what's holding them back. So they do have feelings that are bouncing all over, they just don't know what to do with them yet. So I feel it's positive, but there's confusion too. So there's some fears in there because emotional confusion happens when we're in fear. Our mind goes woo 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 woo, and our emotions go woo woo woo. And that's kind of what I feel is going on. Is they're like, I don't know what's next. I don't know what to do. What do I want to do? What do I want to choose? I don't know. So that's what's going on, Puja Gupta. So if you're going like, why are they so weird with their actions or non-actions? Now you know. It's like, oh, there's a lot going on in there. So that's what's happening right now, Pooja. So many blessings to you. All right. And new love, you'll be my next free reading coming up. All right. Thank you, Always Victory, for your donation. Uh-oh. I see an LOL. Let's see what you said here. So, what was the purpose of you writing Life in Shambles? You feel spirit put an immense amount of pressure on you to write this book. Spirit guides you don't like being pressured and you wanted to stop. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing is that spirit doesn't put pressure on us, right? Um, we're the only ones that put pressure on ourselves. Um, but let's take a look here and see what was the purpose of you writing Life in Shambles. So you have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, of course, she rules over communication, but she also is balanced between heart and mind. We also have the Six of Swords, which again, more communication and moving from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. And so there's this processing that comes in with all of this because we also have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight and the Nine of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, of course, is this quest after determining our worth and relationship into the outside world in a different way. And the Nine of Pentacles is kind of the same thing, except it's the hermit's journey that draws us inward to really evaluate and look at our worth. And we're with spirit, and we're with this represents our relationship and communication with spirit as well. And I feel like with this energy coming in here, it's like they wanted you to write the book so that you, in writing, could balance and move thought and belief around yourself. It's almost like it's, well, you know how like journaling allows us to help us process, and um, sometimes when we um, tell a story or like when you have to teach something to someone, you really get it deeper within you. When we have to teach it to someone, you get your details, you process it. It helps formulate and organize things, I know when some of the books that I've written, um, you're so funny that it's like, "Oh, okay, now I see things more clearly," there. Oh, yeah. Well, and there's some beliefs here, and I know you're saying that they do argue with you and put pressure, and I would just encourage you to look to just evaluate that, because, what spirit has shown me, they don't argue back because they are beings of unconditional love and light, and everything they do for us and for our journey, for our highest experience, but we're the ones they take the right. It's frustrating. They you crack me up. Um, but so frustration, pressure, all that's of fear, and that doesn't come from them. That comes more from our inner child. So that sounds like more like the inner child energy of, like, no, no, I'm not gonna do it, like a 2-year-old having tantrums, right? Those are the ones that we argue with and that have the frustration and everything, you know. So um maybe it's time to reread the Life in Shambles. I don't know. But it is energy. It all has to do with energy as well, right? And if we felt like pressure and there was fear around it, that's what takes us, and takes the energy around a project or thing in a different direction too. So, evaluating and looking at it. I mean, the question we were asking, was like, what was the purpose of this? Was like, well, it was for you to share your story, to process your story, to formulate your story, and it will eventually, I feel, will help people. It's like it will be pages in some other people's survival manuals. It will help people, but I feel like you said, it didn't help me yet. Yeah. So it's like um, evaluating your approach to it, maybe in the energy and maybe moving. I know this is going to be a fun thing to try to do, but having gratitude around, okay, thank you for having me do this and why, because they are just communicating what your higher self wanted you to do. And so, life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. And so we move from a place of victimhood to a different place when we ask, okay, why did I why did I want this to happen for me? Fine, let me look at that, and then it transforms things and allows us to go, okay. Because I really do feel that with you changing the energy and the approach around it and then rereading it, that it can change things. It can change the energy around it, and that it with the stuff that you share, especially if it's a transformational type of book where you talk about how you've overcome things, it definitely can help people because we're definitely we all go through so many things, and we can all help each other through things. Especially if someone hasn't gone through that before, and you're like, oh, here's the user guide, the user manual. This can help you. It gives you some hints and ideas. So that's what I kind of feel around that. But that's the reason why they wanted you to write it. So hang in there. You just crack me up. I'm glad you have such a great sense of humor, right? Okay. Again, thank you for your donation too. Hang in there, Victory. All right. Many, many blessings. All right. And then we left off with new love. Hello, hello. And you like a general reading for the next month. So let's take a look here and see what we've got here. I just saw what you wrote to new love about. Always say something funny. It's like always Victory. I cried for so many years. I'm like, I'm tired of crying. I'm ready to laugh. Tears of laughter. Tears are very healing, but so is laughter. And especially spirit, they are just like having a party over on the other side. And so they are so funny. All right, let's focus. So, general reading for you, new love, for this next month. All right. All right. Well, I like this coming in here for you. So the first card that came in is the star card, which is hope, but it's also wish fulfillment. It just feels like wishing upon a star energy that comes in here. And you have the wheel of fortune too. So there is this beautiful churning of things happening in your life where even your human feels like it's for you and that it's fortunate. So I like this unfolding that comes here. And with the Eight of Wands, it comes in suddenly and fast and furiously too, with a lot of energy. It tackles you out of nowhere, but it's a pleasant tackle. It's like, wow, this is a wonderful brightness that comes into your life next month. So I do like this. Um, yeah, it's a significant ending and new beginning. I mean, you've got two major arcana, and I mean, the two that came out here are very positive and powerful energies. The star card can also represent Aquarius energy. So if you have an Aquarian that is headed your way, that could also be that too. It doesn't have to be, but it is this brightness, this balancing energy as well, that comes in. So I like it. It doesn't tell me what area of your life, but it is definitely a nice surprise. And again, it comes suddenly, which is very Aquarian energy too. Aquarian, they ruled by Uranus, which is all about the sudden, da da da, that comes in. So uh, there you go. There you go. Someone's going to dress as a clown and jump out of the closet. But not like the scary clown, but a really funny clown. Or maybe not a clown if you're scared of clowns. All right. So that's what they have for you. Let me just make sure here. All right, very good, very good. We did that one. All right. Let me just see. I lost my place. There I am. So lovely, lovey. Hello again. So energy reading on your ex babysitting your granddaughter this weekend. Okay, let's take a look here. Hmm. Yeah, just want to get clarity on this one real quick here. All right. So we do have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Strength card here. And I feel very positive about this. The Knight of Wands, I feel like it's going to be very fast. It's going to be fun. They're very fiery. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunity, and the Strength card. I feel like this is all about trusting our higher selves to trust your gut, trust your instinct. Just know that I just feel like they're watched over here as well, and that I just feel like a positive energy around this. I don't have any, uh, you know, warning signs going off with all this. I just feel like it's going to be a very, fun filled, a lot of energy, a lot of activity type of things, and a lot of new opportunities for your granddaughter too. So I feel very positive about it. So that's the energy that's coming in with that lovely lovey. So many blessings to you. All right. And so we are to Kavita. Kavita, will you clear your KVS PGT exam? Let's see, what does Spirit want you to know around this here? Yeah, it looks very good for you here. You've got the Four of Wands, which is joy, celebration, very stable energies, and the Seven of Wands, shining bright, standing up. I feel like you're going to do better than a lot of people because this is like, why do you get the good grades? Usually there's people with wands all poking at someone going, why do you get that and we don't? Come back down here and be miserable with the rest of us. But I feel like there's this joy and this celebration and that you stand out in a positive way. So I really feel like you do well on it. So I like it for you, Kavita, and that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. And Barty, you are up. Hello, hello. So you want to know Amit Palan's feelings and thoughts for you. Let's take a look here. Whoa, okay. Well, well, well. Okay. The lovers card is here, so they definitely have this, type of interest, but they also are very confused. Seven of Cups, emotional confusion. I feel like they have these feelings and thoughts about you and for you, but I don't feel like you're the only one. I kind of feel like they not that they're a player and that they're like, someone who's dating a whole bunch of people or anything like that. I just feel like they're they are like a romantic, I feel, at heart, and they love the feeling of being in love, and they're like, "Well, I could have that with this one, or this one." And, not that they have a low bar either. I feel like they have, like, wow, because there was 3 at the top, that's why I feel like there's 3, not 7, but they're just like they like certain things about each and individual one, and they're just kind of like going, "I could see me with all 3." but which one do I, really, really does my heart want? Because I feel like their mind is the one that's like looking at a resume, things, right? But the heart is going, I know what I want. And he's figuring that out. That's where the emotional confusion is coming in. But he definitely has these emotions for you in attraction. So I like it. And that's what they have for you, Barty, right now. So many blessings to you. All right. To Beautiful Dream, you will be the next free reading. But I do have a donation. Thank you so much, Aj Marie. Oh, you're writing a book. All right. Will it be successful? Let's take a look here. See what spirit wants you to know. Write a book here. You're welcome, Barty. So, what spirit is saying here? Um, you've got the high priestess, which is about stepping back, um, really going, connecting to the higher realms, going behind the veil, diving deep, which the Hierophant is also this invitation to go inward and really search out for your truth. Both of these represent what is it that you truly want? Who is it that you truly want to be and what you want to communicate? And so, regardless to this book, not regardless, regarding this book, I feel like they're saying for the content and what you're wanting to come across and what you're wanting to communicate, it's like reevaluating it, just kind of looking at your why and the what, right? Why do I want to write a book? What I want to communicate it? Because both of these are having you turn inward and upward to really connect to your high heart to see how you uniquely want to share the unconditional love in your heart with the world. What kind of message are you wanting to give to the world? And I feel like with that, like they're saying, before we go on the successful will be successful, they're wanting you to like reflect on that piece of it in writing the book. Because when you're sharing your heart, you truly it we don't look for the success on the outside world. We're doing it because of what we love. Like writers write, but writers don't all writers don't end up on the top 10 New York best-selling list, right? But if you want to share, you share, and then whatever unfolds, unfolds. But I feel like they're telling you to look inward and upward to find what is it that you truly want to communicate and why through that. So I feel like that's the message that's coming in right now for that, Ange Marie. So that is what they have right now. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. I love that you're wanting to share with the world, because the world does need your heart. And that's what I feel like they're wanting you to focus on. So you are very welcome. Many, many blessings to you again. Thank you for your donation. And beautiful dream. So you wanted to know, what does London boy feel about you? Like he hasn't asked you out yet. Ah, wow. Pisces London boy. What's going on? What does he feel? All right. Let's see. These two are together. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, so here's the Pisces, King of Cups. This is the Pisces. They also have the King of Swords. So this is like the King of Cups balances heart and mind. The King of Swords rolls over mind, but kings are given a second portion of air. That's why this is half water, half air. This is 2 times air. So when you put it together, they're 3 times air, 1 part cup. So when you ask about what do they feel about you, I feel they're really stuck in their head about things in life. And it does make sense here too with the Hermit and the Ten of Swords. Swords are all of the thoughts and the beliefs, and they're exhausted trying to live up to a lot of expectations in the outside world. and I feel like they're in hermit mode. They're really drawn inward with all these thinking and thoughts. So even on the outside, they appear to be very watery. They are very intellectual, very mind focused, overthinking focused at this point in their life, and that's why they're drawn into the little hermit that's there, and that's why they haven't taken action because they're all about the thinking, all about what's going on with them right now. Um, there are feelings there, but their mind is just three-fourths of what's going on. So the heart has a one vote and the mind has three votes, and the mind is all about the, oh, we can't deal with feelings right now. You get to sit down and be quiet. We're doing some thinking. And that's what's happening. A beautiful dream. Um, that's why they haven't taken action, because they're looping in their brain. So that's what's happening. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. All right. So up next, we have VD Jalan. You'll be the next free reading, but I do have a donation coming through. Thank you so much, Julia. Hello, hello. And you'd like a message, uh, messages and feelings from your Leo's energy at the moment. Okay, very good. I get it. Right. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. All right. Nice. Come on, cards. There we go. So you've got like 3, 3, and 2. So the first three, here we go. Leo energy, that's here. So this is them saying, here they are. And we got the Three of Pentacles and the Hermit. So like the combination of these, especially this being communicating with their higher self. Here's the Hermit card, withdrawn, communicating with their higher self. The Three of Pentacles being my authentic self. These three is like they're focusing on them in this moment right now. So for this moment, at this moment, they're kind of just withdrawn, evaluating things, looking at things, trying to stay clear, being drawn in directions from other people's opinions and thoughts and beliefs and blah, 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 blah. I feel like they're just really trying to get their head around um, what they want in their life. And that makes sense with these two. So we've got the Queen of Swords, which is balancing of heart and mind. So that's what they're trying to do. We have the Princess of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So this new passion, this new love possibilities here is what is kind of I feel is taking them. I don't want to say taking them off guard, but they're just kind of trying to balance things, and they're just trying to understand and get a just their equilibrium back, if that makes sense. And it makes sense here. They're definitely triggered to do some deep self reflection. And here we continue with some deep reflection here. So, the Devil card is, of course, Capricorn Saturn energy, which has this challenge. The Saturn, whenever it enters any like house in our chart, it just takes it and shakes and shakes and shakes all our beliefs and things that we have around whatever it is, whatever subject that it's hitting us with. And it just basically asks us, it says, hey, all those beliefs that you have had since you were in your mother's womb and born all the way up till now, all that foundation. We're like, yeah, I do. And they're like, I'm going to shake it and make you question all of it. Oh, thank you, and so this is what is happening, with them. I just feel like their very core is being shaken and rattled here, but this work is for them, and, it will benefit them in the long run because when they do the 8 of Pentacles is like an apprentice working for a blacksmith where, the master blacksmith takes them on and they do this, you know, uh, just uh, training, and they go through all of this stuff, and they just really uh, learn. They spend sometimes, not that this will take decades, but like an apprentice, decades to learn, then they become the master, and then they get to go off and be the master blacksmith and take on apprentice themselves. That's the kind of energy that's coming in here, is doing some deep, deep, wow, clearing out of things, and shaking, but it does end up moving things in their outside world in a positive direction, because when you reach that point, you either have to move up or out. There's no way to stay with things as they are. And that's kind of where they're at, is okay, I can't stay the way I am. I need to evolve. I need to change these things. I need to let go of things that no longer serve me emotionally, mentally, in life, and everything, and do a big clearing. Yeah, absolutely. So there's this big change, and I like it. I like it for them, because it's so freeing. It's like someone breaking out of the cage they've had themselves in, realizing that there was only three sides of the cage the whole time, like being in prison and realizing there's only been bars on here and here, and the whole back was open the whole time. And people are going, spirits going, "Hey, look behind you. Look behind you." And you're like, "No, no, I don't want to look behind me. It's scary." They're like, "No, really, look behind you." "No, I don't want to look. Don't make me look." I mean, looking like, "Oh, I can leave?" And it is like this big release that's happening. So I do like that, Julia. Yay. Yeah. Woohoo. I like it. So that is what they have, Julia. So that's the messages and feelings for Leo energy at the moment. So many blessings. And again, thank you so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate it. All right. The modern mystic. Hello. Hello. And you're currently in the void. Any messages from your guides? Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see what they have. And thank you so much for your donation as well. And okay, I actually want to start off here with an oracle card from the Return of Spirit deck. I called this the spiritual ink blot test. And because they're fractal imaging. So whatever you see is a special message for you. And then we'll see what message comes in with it here. All right, here it is. Right. All right, so here you go. Your spiritual ink blot test. And I'll try to move in here a little bit too, so you can see the middle there. Here we go. Whoops. And then I'll do the reveal of the word at the bottom here, which is assistance. And let's see what the author brought in here for you. So it says, we all need a little help at one point or another in our lives. Rest assured, help is on the way for you to come get you out of the void. There is a huge inpouring of divine and angelic assistance coming to you now. And this card appears for you today to let you know that your need for help has been acknowledged. Whether you have directly asked for aid or not, the universe is stepping forward on your behalf. You're like, woohoo! This assistance can come in many forms, and sometimes it comes in the form of another person. We do not necessarily have to know them personally for them to influence our lives. Through a series of divinely organized coincidences, a complete stranger can make their way into our personal world, providing the help we so greatly need. At other times, it may be our closest friends who lovingly step forward to assist us. However, we can also experience a sudden shift in circumstances which occurs for no logical reason. And this can happen to certain individuals who we may be having difficulty with. Either something energetically shifts in them, or we suddenly understand how we are to deal with the person. No matter how it happens, it is spirit working in your life. So let this be fair warning. Help is coming. So don't do something silly such as say, no, thank you, when help is offered to you. Do not let feelings of not being worthy or deserving get in the way. Do not allow your pride or need to be the giver interfere with this divine offering of assistance. I know that's a hard one. You most certainly deserve it, and that is the truth. Allow yourself to receive it. Just smile and say, thank you. Just as this assistance comes to you, sometime soon, Spirit will call on you to provide a loving hand of help to someone else, which is what you do. So definitely, yeah, right? Woohoo! So I definitely love that for you. So yeah, and especially that really hits home, right? You are always the giver, and sometimes it's hard for the giver to go, you know what? Let me receive. I will receive. Thank you. It reminds me of I had when I was a manager once in a large corporation, they had us take Dale Carnegie, and uh, one of the things they had us do, we had to sit in like a little group of six and write on little cards something we appreciated about each person sincerely. And then we all had to take turns, everyone reading that thing that they liked about us. And the only thing that we could say was thank you, nothing else. And talk about it was so uncomfortable. Without trying to detract it and throw it off, and, it was, like, just to say, someone saying, "One thing I like about you're the most real person I've ever met." "Ooh, thank you," And I feel like that is, you know, a wonderful awareness, right? It's like, allow people to give to you. Um, one, it's such a wonderful feeling to give, and we cheat people out of not allowing them to give to us. But two, you definitely deserve it. All right, and let's see what else they have here for you. Yeah. So of course, Seven of Pentacles. This is really like the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, and I feel like this is letting you know that yeah, you've been in this little void, but it's about to end. It's about the reasoning and the energy behind it has been on purpose for a purpose, and you're ready for this fruition. You're ready for the being pulled out, you know, being pulled out of the abyss, not the abyss, but the void, right? That's your card of 2023. Yay! And this is what we've been working through, right? The Three of Swords, moving to the Six of Swords. Looking at your any of the fears, the heartbreaks, those disappointments, those things that have been holding us back. The things that have been, and these were the subconscious. This is why the void. Why you were drawn into the void, so that you could, go in there. No, I haven't done yours yet, Shania. So it's like this deep diving, this, deep, to find those things from when you were 7 years old and younger, right? Those your emotional little child that's been down underneath the surface going, no, we can't do that because of this. These they're like they're at the control panel in the subconscious, right? Where they have like control over where to put up um forest fields. Like we walk into them, why can't I go past there? The little inner child, like, we don't want to go that way. And then you walk this way and you hit another one. And these are the things that you've been looking at. And the purpose of the void is to really swim around down underneath there in the subconscious and visit with your inner child to really just help them feel safe. And I even feel like you've been doing inner child work, where you pick up your inner child, and even from when you were in the crib, or even in the nursery at the hospital, just imagining picking up your little baby self and just holding yourself and be in this place of unconditional love and acceptance, and just in this wonderful, wonderful thing, you know. Right. It's beautiful. And there's this transformation with all of that, right? Because it's like leaving the three, these are the three swords that you're leaving behind, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, and moving into these beautiful beliefs. And it's like this year is a quest for you, right? All the knights are on a quest. This is what knights do, they quest. And this is after the Ace of Cups, which is the truly the grail, the chalice full of the unconditional love of up above. And it's this pursuit of this inner love that's been, the void. It's like I've been going, I feel like you've been in a maze, right? Yeah, but it's beautiful and you're filling up and overflowing. So I do really love this for you. And they're saying that, this has been the quest. We've been on the quest, my lady. And I love that. And definitely it's like the fruition is coming. I feel like you're just on the verge. The fruit, is about to grow on the trees, and you're like, yes, and they're going to become ripe very, very soon. I feel like you see the buds, truly it's like spring, here it's like, unfolding there. So I really, really love that. Um, there. Wow. I love it. The orphanage of children in you. You're so funny. Yeah, absolutely. This is so beautiful, and I love that for you. Yeah, you're definitely not alone. And I like the movement. In fact, it's even like, it's like you're in a little womb. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. That close. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There it goes. The little papoose and the little thing there just feels like you're enveloped in a cocoon, like a like a caterpillar. And you have all the butterflies there too. So it is like you're at the stage of, you've let the caterpillar, you've gone through the caterpillar juice and soup stage, and you developed the developed butterfly in the cocoon, and the struggle of getting out is what's building up your strong butterfly muscles so that you can fly a blanket burrito, right? You ever seen like the little kittens in them and they call them burritos? But it's, yeah, so definitely I love this for you, modern mystic. So thank you so much for your donation, and I love this for you, and you're very welcome. All right. So let's see here. Let's see, where did we leave off here? How many do we have left here? I think we're getting close to the end here, because I've been on for 2.5 hours. So I do want to try to balance a little bit, but I don't think I have as many as I think I do left here. So we left off for the free ones with Vidi Jalan. Hello, hello. You'd like a general reading regarding love. So let's take a look here. What does Spirit wants you to know about love? Arg, arg. Got the Temperance card, which is about timing and patience, and takes time for it to unfold here. So it is, evolving. It is gonna eventually be here. But, it is taking a little bit of time, right? And while we're waiting, and I feel like you get this message, right? It just seems like, why do I keep getting the same message over and over? Well, eventually it's going to be like, it's coming, because the Knight of Swords is looking at your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around love, expectations of the supposed to, shoulds, and need tos. And they're questing after looking at love from a higher perspective. And it's a double-edged sword. It allows you to cut away the expectations and all the limitations that we've developed around what love should be, supposed to be, need to be, have to be, all that, from the past. And it allows this freedom, and the tempering is us giving us the chance. The slowness of unfolding has given us the opportunity to remove more of these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets that allow this opening, and we allow more leeway for the universe to bring things in, the who and the how and the when. I know the when is the harder part, right? But it's the trusting that they're going to bring us the perfect person in the perfect way at the perfect time. And there's this, because it's given us time to raise our love vibration. So it's something more in alignment with what our true heart wants, not what we've always done and got what we always gotten, right? So there's this change that's happening here. And this is what they're saying is this: continue to work on your heart, raising your love vibration, cutting away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve where you want to head in love, and those emotions that no longer serve, those people that no longer serve. It's like kind of this whittling away and this releasing of weight from your life, uh, so that it brings you to where you're wanting to go. So I like it for you, VD. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And we have done those. I'm just going to make sure I'm not overlooking anyone here. All right, Alexis, I think we are to you here, and you would like a love reading. All right, let's take a look here. Just make sure here. All right. Oh, there we go. Got lost. All right. Well, so the message is coming in here regarding love for you. There is this transformative time happening, because the Strength card here and the King of Pentacles really have a underlying story that's very related, because the Strength card is about, this is your human self, and you can see with the infinity symbol, this is your higher self. And the human self is told, it comes down here hungry, and it's told to look outside of itself for that which will make it full. And it's told to eat of relationships, situations, and things. The King of Pentacles, one of the big pieces of wisdom he learns is that when he's looking for his worth and he looks outside of himself for it, he feels unstable, because they're told to define their worth by relationships, situations, and things. So there's this underlying thing that the king realizes, that those things are unstable, and the lion realizes those things don't make him feel full. And because relationships, people change, people pass away, people walk away. So the love that we're really looking for, eventually we become so uh, just bored and dissatisfied and hungry, angry about the outside world, that we turn inward and upward. And this is when we turn upward to our higher selves. And because the lion is roaring in the forest, and our higher self hears it, our lion is not aware of our higher self in the beginning, but when it's roaring and it's so desperate to feel full, it turns to them. And our higher self doesn't put, the lion out of its misery, or try to cage it to control it, or, you know, um, try to tame it with a whip and a chair like they do in circuses and stuff, because it knows what the lion is truly searching after. What our human is searching for is the unconditional love from up above that we can't find in the outside world. And when we turn inward and upward, our higher self is actually a supernatural, powerful being made of unconditional love. It embraces us, gives us the love we're looking for. We fill up and it overflows out. And it's not that we cut off and say, well, I don't need love in the outside world. Well, we don't need it, but we want it. And we want that experience. And by turning inward and upward, it changes our perception of the outside world. Instead of the love always falling short, we're finding fullness inside. And so what people give us is above and beyond. So we can focus on abundance in a relationship of what they're giving us instead of what they're not giving us. And so there's this change that's happening here, and they're really just asking for you to consider turning inward and upward so that you can look and transform the viewpoint and how you're looking at love, because it will change everything. So I feel like that's what they're having there for you. So many, many blessings for you. All right. So continue looking down here. Krishna, actually, I did answer that question yesterday. So, but we can answer it again. But all right, very good, beautiful dream. Let me see here. I just want to see how many we have left here because good morning, Edie. Tanisha, you're so funny. No, I don't want to go back there. Okay, so we've got one, two, three. Deadly afraid of clouds. I knew there was a reason. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Hey, Rishi. Hello, hello. Okay, yeah, I have like about a dozen more left here. Um, so I'm going to I know I feel bad that I'm not going to be able to get to everyone. I don't know, Marissa. I don't think I got to yours. No, I haven't gotten that far. I've got like a dozen left, but I have been on for almost 3 hours. And so I hate to end a session without answering everyone, but it's sometimes it's just not able to do that. Um, but Krishna, I'll try to find the answer on the previous one, and I'll post it on the this morning's video so that that you can get that message there. Because I remember that question, so I know I did answer it. Because I think I got through everyone's. I think I did everyone's this morning. But to everyone else, my deepest apologies. I wish I could get to everyone, but I have to balance. But I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Also, just to let everyone know here too, I do have a weekly giveaway every Monday where this Monday, here's the link to the video. I do give away giving away a 1 hour personal recorded reading. And then also there's some information on a monthly giveaway. I also have pick a card reading. So if you're needing an answer tonight and you cannot make it to tomorrow's, there is a pick a card I put out this week, which is about life purpose, what you need to know about that right now. But I do have a ton of other pick a cards regarding love, relationships, career, abundance, and a bunch of other as well. So if you need an answer this evening, I really encourage you to go to my playlist, follow your heart, and whichever one draws you to there, there could be a message or messages there for you. You can also check out your monthly reading because I do have monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and that's the playlist for those. And if you're looking like, what about love? You can, if you know your Venus sign of your chart, your birth chart, you can check out like your Venus. If you want to know about emotions, that's your moon sign. If you want to know about masculine energy, you can check out your Mars. If you're looking at a feminine energy, that's also like Venus. So the different planets can also give you different things. But if not, checking out your sun sign will also give you information because I do delve into those on what your uh, energetic experiences for the month, what your emotional, your mental, your physical. It all goes into each one of those during those as well. So a lot of free stuff there available, and apologies again to everyone that I wasn't able to get to. I do struggle to not do that, but I do have to rest, otherwise I won't be here. So balance is key. But thank you guys again so much for all the thumbs up that you've given the videos, um, and all the love and all the support that you bring here as well. And again, please know that every second of every day of your life that you truly are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And I do love you guys too. I'm here Wednesday through Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And again, apologies to everyone that I was almost getting to, but I am wiped, and I do need to sign off for this evening. But but please return, and we'll get it there. I do, if you're subscribed, just make sure to go into your notification settings and have all selected, because an hour before my sessions, I do put out an announcement on YouTube, and you can actually go into the chat at that time and post your question. It'll save them, and it's like kind of like getting in line at a concert with unassigned seats. You can get into and I do start at the top and work my way down. So that's something you can do too, to try to get in there early as well. So thank you guys for understanding. Again, much love to you guys. So have a great night or a great day wherever you're out in the world. And until I see you soon, take care of yourselves. Take care.